happened that my dad was pretty crafty and he would keep me around and keep me interested and keep me, motivated. They often say that, if you want to teach a kid to golf, don't take him to the golf course and force him to golf. Let him have a fishing pole and fish in the ponds while you're golfing. I think that's what my dad did to me. And I just kind of naturally grew interested in it because it wasn't forced upon me or there wasn't an expectation set that I had to do it. And so I joined, like a lot of kids. My first time card was when I was like 7 years old. I swept the floor for 15 minutes and pet the cat for 4 hours, this kind of stuff. But when I did get serious in the business, it came in the early 90s, and I worked in every position in the company. My dad was an old school guy. He isn't going to give shares to all of his children or his siblings or anybody else in the family. You're going to have to prove that you can make it. And that's I started on the factory floor in machining parts and sweeping the floor properly. And then
How old were you then?
I'd say, when I first was, I was probably in the nearly graduating college, in those years where you're looking for beer money and trying to figure out how to go on a date and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And so he had me working part-time, but when I started working full-time, it was probably 22, 23 years old, just after college. Yeah. And so I kind of grew organically, I think, to the role of to roles that were available. And my dad's advice was, hey, if you can continue to if you continue to prosper in these roles, and you're working for somebody else who's coming to me saying, hey, I think this guy can be really good at this role or this role, then you can keep growing in the organization. And it finally got to the point where I was pretty much running the company, and by the time I was given the nod to be president, it was sort of already had been done, so to speak. I just needed the blessing.
Sure. So you were one of the ones that, you didn't spend 3 years or 5 years working for somebody else and say, Dad, let me back in, please. It was just kind of, like you said, it wasn't forced upon you, but, it just kind of gradually, that's the way that it went. And you found a knack for it.
Yeah, and Olivia's role was different. Like her mother and I really wanted her to go out, find a good first job in an environment where she could learn and be trained and bring skill sets to the organization if she ever wanted to come. We didn't force that on her, but I'll let her tell that